team encounters some more public endeavors.
Paranormal endeavors.
My mom notices them too, so it wasn't something abnormal in my household.
The network, which paranormal community and unity should be about.
A presentation leads to some eyewitness experiences.
And as he's talking about her, I see a bright orb flashing across Eric's head. It went down one side and zigzagged up the other side.
Lead me in that direction, and
it went really well.
How far I've come on the team from,
And then a surprise for Raphael.
Oh my God.
Dude, just for you.
You want to make me cry.
And it just kind of seemed more sensitive after a few days.
It was a surprise and I love it.
And then the team gets prepped for another case.
So yeah, and this is what Kelly had mentioned, that we're remodeling, and this is kind of slowing down their efforts because of this.
Just get, you can't get pictures, their batteries are draining, so.
Yeah.
well, he died in the basement of a heart attack and had built the property next door.
And it has been very interesting so far.
Kind of curious to see what's actually going on.
Intel is gathered upon entering the house.
Afterwards, my mom kept always complaining about why is her back door always open.
I mean, it's just that door all the time.
A suspect is indicated as a possible cause of activity.
He came down here, was having a nap, and just didn't wake up.
I feel like maybe it's a relative and maybe they have something to say to you, but I can't promise that.
I told him he needed to come talk to his dad.
During a spiritual session, does it become too overwhelming?
We were able to do an offering.
What happened? Look at that, man. St. Michael the Archangel, please reinforce and make sure that it's hard to explain, and I had to sketch out what I saw. The end of the tunnel with that blue light, I'd seen an individual.
Easiest I felt all night.
It was a really interesting case. I was very emotional.
Curious to see what's actually going on.
Interesting to see.
I'm not alive.
Coming to the home, I definitely.
Paranormal endeavors. With the advent of numerous media presentations on ghost hunting investigations, and a great deal of emphasis has been placed around the scientific aspect of this field, Eric and his team have taken a broadened approach by considering the spiritual side of investigation process as well.
All right, well, I know some of you, I have familiar faces. I know I recognize you as often. A few of you have been to my presentations before.
I started out, noticing spirits, ghosts when I was very little. It's just something that's always been there. My mom notices them too, so it wasn't something abnormal in my household. But I didn't really pay attention to it. I was actually one of those kids that were terrified of the dark and loved watching ghost shows, but hated watching ghost shows because I would scare myself into it. But I actually found Eric. He was doing a documentary at the time called Metaphysical World, kind of about the stipulations of the paranormal field. And that's kind of how I met him. One of my friends was interviewed for it. And from there, we started a spiritual kind of training that I started with him. It took about a year before I could join the team. And it wasn't that hard. I was just like, hey, I want to go on this investigation with you. Is that okay? I kind of had to ask and be accepted into it. That's the first thing I started out as. I just kind of jumped into it, was evidence analyst. And we have a group of, it's usually 3 to 4 people that'll sit down and we'll review all the evidence we get from a case. I like it. It's super exciting because you are the first person that gets to see what we actually got as physical evidence at a place. It was like first CVP, I was so excited.
And it was kind of funny because it sounded in its tone, it was like, oh, that's creepy. But it wasn't really creepy. Like the vibe didn't come off as being, we need to get out of here. But they did laugh like a stereotypical like horror movie. And we caught that a couple times in our audio.
2 or 3 different times.
There is a positive to it, and there's just so much focus on the negative, which is really too bad that it's kind of steered itself in that direction.
So I just went and did my first presentation with Eric. It went really well.
Just to let you know the difference between an intelligent haunting and what is called a poltergeist. This poltergeist is the person has so much energy going on in themselves that they kind of exert it, and it creates the activities. That's why in German it means noisy ghost, because things knock and slam, and it's just the person so full of energy themselves that they're exerting the energy into their surroundings.
As Eric was doing his presentation, one of the investigators that is no longer with us, he was talking about her, and as he's talking about her, I see a bright orb flashing across Eric's head. It went down one side and zigzagged up the other side. And then it disappeared. And then a little bit later in the presentation, again this investigator's name was mentioned regarding an investigation. And I saw a bright brown orb above Eric's head. And then right after that, it took on like the shape of a shadow behind his shoulder, and then everything was gone. During that time, I got major goosebumps on me. I was sitting in the front row, not too far from where Eric was standing.
Being on a team it's a once in a, well, not really a once, because I'm going on like 3.5, 4 years now. But in short terms, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I think that it helps you grow so much spiritually, because half of the people on your team have been on there for a while, or they've been on other teams, like in Eric's instance. So they can help you grow your spiritual gifts.
Hi, Joy. Good to see you. So we're out here at the Marion Psychic Expo 2015. So it's Mary and myself. Kelly, of course, co-hosts this. Say hello. Alright, so I'm up here. You might know me. This is the first time that one of our case managers, Mary, has been able to join me on any of these things.
Lo and behold, that led me to Eric's group.
Now you're here.
Yeah, now I'm here and went on, investigations, and I've not yet ever experienced anything negative. I mean, I'm still working on my grounding. Sometimes I just go, get too excited.
We're here at the expo now. It seems like people are starting to come in. A lot of really good booths up right now. Got our booth all set up, so look forward to see what happens today.
There's not as many people today as there was yesterday, but
still a good turnout though.
This is
lots of happy faces.
Yeah.
Well, we had a surprise for one of our own, and Casey was really the mastermind behind this one. She did the artwork herself and decided to give it to Rafi. So just a gift. Thank you for coming over, and we had a little gift for you. People see it first. And hopefully you like it. That's part of why we want you to come over here, not just for coming over, but we wanted to give you the gift, so I'll let you trade your spots since you drew.
Oh my god.
Did just for you.
You want to make me cry.
Sorry.
Wow.
I found this picture online and it made me think of Rafi because it was a soldier. And so I'm like, I'm gonna make this for him because I wanted to make something, special for him. And I gave it to him and I didn't know how well he was gonna like it. He was really like, and I was super excited.
Wow. Thank you.
And
You guys are gonna make me cry. Make me show witness.
yeah, and it just kind of seemed more sensitive after a few days, that you've been through that. Now we, give it to you. So we gave it to him and really liked it. You could tell, fell in love with it. So
I'm still speechless. This is the gift Eric and Casey gave to me. It was a surprise and I love it. Bring me back memories. It's really beautiful.
And we just wanted to give a little bit of token of appreciation for his service as we welcome veterans to paranormal research.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I love it. For real. Bringing back a lot of good memories and, thank you guys.
Alright, so this is the guest bedroom we have, and it's been checked out. Jackie means she came in here, stayed the night, did a little K2, yes and no, and got some stuff. She's not very active, but we do believe it to be a female presence.
Scooby, our dog, he will come to the doorway, but he won't come inside the room. He refuses. I don't know. He'll wiggle his way and then go run and do whatever else he's doing.
We actually had room for a new field researcher, so I actually happened to bring it up with somebody I worked with.
Tori Donahue. I've been interested in the paranormal ever since I was younger. I used to see a lot of what I believed were spirits and have been interested in getting more information on that moving forward. I heard about paranormal endeavors through Eric, a coworker of mine, and I'm from Reno, Nevada. And I moved out here to Iowa just recently.
So I had talked to Tori about it, and she shared an interest in this. She's wanting to learn more and do field research, and I think by talking to her and kind of working with her, for knowing her for the time that I have, that she truly wants to help people out and clients out, and not just for the thrill of it. As I got older, I continued to see them. Most often a man and a young child, toddler, a female toddler. And I saw them up until I was about 21 or so. And I actually asked them to leave because it was starting to bother me. So ever since then I haven't seen them, but it's made me more curious as to maybe where they went or what was it. I just finished my training and I'm very excited and I can't keep myself together.
But otherwise it's pretty quiet in here.
Kim and Carl's ready to do the briefing. So we'll go back down to the room.
Okay.
Kim, you're with everybody here. We're actually, we're doing the front of the camera, so we're ready. So you're on there, so don't say anything incriminating. So we have Tori, Mary, Jeff, Carrie, and Casey, Rafi, and myself here. Anything that you wanted to tell us about this case?
Kim was the case manager on this case, so that's why I don't know much information about it.
Father-in-law died of a heart attack in the basement.
Yeah.
In 2005, I think I have a note.
Yes.
2005. And then he would always come out the back door. I'm trying to do a quick rundown because my battery got back. He really used to go out in and out the back door. When he passed away, the back door would always still do. Mother-in-law passed away 2 years ago. It sat dormant for 2 years, and then decided to sell the house. So they started remodeling it. Well, that they come to remodel the house, and that door was always open. So they ended up nailing it shut. Well, then they come back and then he cut the nail with the slide out a little bit more. And now the door opens up for the nail to go in there, and it looks like something like pull on it. But the screen door, you can't open it, so it has to be done from the inside, and then the other one's with the key.
Yeah. Did you know how old the house is?
It's 1974.
1974.
1975, yeah.
Okay.
So that's when he built it.
Alrighty. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not because Oski has a lot of old houses too. It has a lot of historical, but this isn't one of those. Okay.
I'm pretty cold going into this case. Been really emotional ever since I started driving here. Don't know if it has anything to do with the case. Looking forward to tonight.
So yeah, and this is what Kelly had mentioned that we're remodeling, and this is kind of slowing down their efforts because of this stuff. So.
Yeah.
Tonight is my first investigation. I'm excited to see what happens and possibly help out the client and give them an ease of mind. I'm interested to learn more and know what's going on.
Tori's next to me, so you can say hi to her. Hopefully.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Kind of.
Nice to meet you. I'll be up in a couple weeks, hopefully, so.
Good. I'm excited to meet everybody.
Well, I'm glad to be here, glad to be back, and going into this case cold. Kind of curious to see what's actually going on and go from there.
And Carrie misses you.
I know, I miss Carrie. She's worried about me, that's me. She's worried about me too sometimes.
Yeah, I worry about you too, but I've learned not to worry too much about you.
Well, you guys have a safe investigation and stay grounded.
Thank you for joining us. Everybody say bye.
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 Yep, see ya.
It'll be interesting to find out what I can. I'm gonna have to leave early for work again, so it'll be a short trip.
It's not very old then.
No.
It's 74.
Well, he died in the basement of a heart attack and has built the property next door.
So possibly within the family here for spirits. So father-in-law did die in the basement, 2005, heart attack. Used to use the back door. The back door is always found open.
I'm really excited to be here because it's going to be a full case again, so...
They were trying to sell it, I think.
Okay.
And that's why they're doing the renovations, is because they're trying to sell it, and that's where the pictures that are coming in.
That's where the realtors can't take photos of it.
Yeah.
We're about to embark on another case. We're going to Oskaloosa to help out a client.
Alright, so this investigation, it's another full investigation. We have actually a pretty heavy crew for this one, more than we usually do, more than the usual 4 or 5. We actually have up to about 7 of us.
Okay.
I lost the other 2.
Here you go. Lost everyone else. Yep, there's Jeff. Coming on to somebody.
That's Eric.
We're on Eric. Okay, we found Eric.
I guess any thoughts or impressions? You were saying that you're kind of sad or
approaching
emotional?
right turn.
I'm emotional, still am, but I'm trying to open myself up to those thoughts and feelings, which is really bizarre.
Pulling up out front, I was pretty much able to tell this is it, we're here, and as we were standing out there and walking up, it felt like someone was watching from inside the house. And
Hello, my name's Eric, Paranormal Brothers.
Hi.
So tonight is my first official investigation. Coming to the home, I definitely felt a heavy presence. I don't want to go into detail what I felt until I have processed everything over the evening.
Kim, the one that talked to, of course, she's in Michigan. She gave us the briefing, so she won't be here today, but here's Mary.
Hi, Mary.
She's my other case manager.
Sorry, we're trying to get the air going, sorry.
And we have Casey here. She's going to take off a little early. She just came to see the place real quick. That's Carrie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
There's Tori.
Hi, Tori.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we have Jeff over there.
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
This is my husband, Steve. It's his mom and dad's house, so he knows the information about when it was built and all that, so.
Okay. Do you guys have an abstract history report on this?
Yeah, it's at the house.
Is there other areas that something else?
The basement.
Okay, we'll go there and just
Other than that, that's the only 2 incidents we've had.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that door all the time, every day. Sometimes 2-3 times a day, sometimes once a day. Maybe it'll skip a day and go the next. We've only been here a couple of hours, been gone a couple of hours from here. We left at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Just came back and the door was unlocked. It was locked when we left because we checked.
Yeah.
See, now the nail's holding it, but I mean, it doesn't move. I mean, I cannot open that door. Now you just unlock it. But it's always locked.
Yeah.
But the door will be open.
Well, the internal door is moving, but this one is left untouched.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not like someone can get in here. They
obviously, no doubt. And I'm really looking forward to being able to clear some air for the owners of the property and help them come to peace with what's happening. So, one thing we need to figure out if it's being pushed on or pulled on. Because, it'll show different pressure points on the wood itself.
Yeah.
So you can tell if it's being pushed or pulled.
It indicates from the inside with the stories that we're
Exactly, because when she says that, the screen is never interrupted.
And just so we note down on here, I don't think Kim had shared it. What was his name? Howard. Howard. Okay. You write that down.
Who's Howard?
Paul,
the owner of the home.
Do you remember the house that was here before?
There was no house.
Nothing here before.
From the time we moved in there, it was an empty lot.
Okay.
And I was just assumed it was always an empty lot.
I originally had a lot of feelings, a lot of emotion, upset, but since I've been putting out like the cords and stuff, I've kind of grounded. I look forward to seeing where the investigation goes. I feel whatever's here has a message. We'll see if that's true or not. Your sister younger or older?
Yeah.
2 years younger.
So she did stay here.
A couple of years. We don't talk now, so.
Sorry?
I mean, it's all good.
And we have not, yeah.
You said your mom had activity after he passed?
We don't know what kind.
Yeah, I mean, she kept talking about the back door being open, and that's the only thing, and she never, no matter how bad she got, she did not want to leave the house. So I think, I don't know.
And she begged us to bring her back here. She was in hospice, begged us to bring her here. She wanted to die in the house.
Last week, my son said that ever since my dad passed, that he didn't like coming here, that he's never told me that before.
Pretty interesting so far. We arrived, we did more, kind of dived into the spiritual right away, more so than we normally traditionally do. We're going to definitely try to validate it though and make sure that if it is him, okay, what is he, why the door, and that kind of stuff.
It's just that, that's where he always came in.
Yeah.
We didn't use the front door very often, it was almost always the back.
So we think we have a good suspect, a good solid.
He came down here, was having a nap, and just didn't wake up. So that was very good.
It's still their house. They may or may not like it a certain way that something's being done or a change in a room or whatever. That can be enough.
Well, yeah, I know that, but but it's the...
Last night we put in all that sheetrock and I said, "Here, Dad, you ought to see we're getting ready to make it better."
Yeah, we're apart, we're putting it back now.
Yeah.
Just told you don't want to move that trash can just because there's something there you can trip on.
Oh, okay.
Cut a post out, so.
Just walking around the house, there's been heaviness throughout the house. There's just been a few things that I've sensed that this could be a pretty good investigation tonight. It's heavy in here.
I keep getting the chills and I don't always get them, so I agree.
There's something about
The garage?
something about the garage too.
Alright, and I have chills, thank you.
Then we went to the back and shared our initial preliminary thoughts. And again, anything that we get right now is just based off of what we get when we enter. We have evidence that we still have to go through again and stuff to help make it more solid. So I'll start. Jeff, did you have anything that you kind of got or questions that you?
Not really. I'm sensing just possibly a little bit of maybe anger, but something he didn't get, something that he wanted to do that he didn't have a chance.
But when we did go downstairs, it was extremely lighter for me. Like, weight was lifted off my shoulder. It seemed happy downstairs. I picture smiles and laughs downstairs. I picture comfort.
I felt the same way. I went under the stairs too. That's where I picked up on a hide and seek. the person that used to live here. I found him walking down the steps, kind of a heaviness in the chest, kind of like chest pains.
We pulled up and like, that's gotta be it, you know? And I
even said that when I got out of the car.
Yeah.
You did.
I rocked
said
around
that.
because Eric called me. He's like, "Are you here?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "I think I might have passed it. I'm not really sure."
And I can do that when you're driving by just random houses. Something will drive me, that spirit activity or something going on in that house. Nothing here, or something in here, you know, that kind of thing. I'd gotten a little bit of, we were being watched, and I got that outside too. It was it would have been that window on that side, on the front. And I just looked up there and was like, we're being watched. And Jeff had commented on that as well. Just the feeling of being watched from that window in particular. Like somebody had come out of the kitchen and just kind of stood by the window just staring at us.
I feel like maybe it's a relative and maybe they had something to say to you, but I can't promise that.
But
An
you
investigation
just
has
share
to-
like your initial feelings though. I mean,
Yeah.
she didn't know. She's still trying to decipher what's,
I feel like
because she
crying. I
throws
keep
it
feeling
away.
like crying.
Yeah.
I've
It's
been
bizarre for me.
shaky, cold, and emotional since walking in.
And it's not bad, it's love.
Yeah, it's a
It's
very
love.
warm, abrasive feeling. But
When he passed, we probably weren't on the best. I was doing a lot of stuff that he didn't approve of.
No, the minute I got in my car and left my
I did
house
hear it. Okay.
and left all kids to get behind, I got emotional and I'm like, what's wrong with me? Am I just happy to be seeing these guys? Sorry. No offense. It doesn't happen to me very often.
I guess I wouldn't mind coming around if you don't mind. I mean, you
No.
know,
I
whenever-
think with what we discovered here
I think
tonight, we need you to be
I
here.
think we need him to be here
Yes.
tonight.
I told him he needed to come talk to his dad.
So you got to take off now.
Yes.
Alright. Well, I love you. Thanks for coming out
Oh.
and singing the praise.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Alright, see ya. Tell everybody bye. Mary, say bye.
I'm standing over here and it's like there's no air vent
Come
over
on, let's
here.
get it going.
It's
Let's get this going.
It's like I'm getting the heaviness of, come on, let's do something.
That's very odd coming from you.
Yes, it is.
Very odd.
I've been around you before.
I don't.
My shoulder pain still hurt. No reason, I don't know. It felt like somebody punched me right here. And it still hurt. And just like 2 minutes ago, I got a really nice headache.
We're back. Everybody had exited the house since it was about 11.
It was 10:40 when we left.
10:45, excuse me. We'd all left. It's set, vacant, empty of living people for the last 20 minutes approximately. So now we are going to head back in there and we will see if there's anything misplaced or anything changed or anything.
Open for the door.
I know the light is the light reflecting on the white curtain.
Yeah, it has. Pull on the doorknob and it opened.
And the door opened, which was the most solid connection, I feel like.
Can I ask you something, guys?
What?
And he threw that thing to the floor.
Noticed a little trash can was upside down, was knocked over.
And we usually have
Flash.
to knock over the trash can.
Oh, again?
Where was?
Flash.
Did you knock this thing on the floor?
No.
It was on the floor.
Yeah, it was
I lifted
later.
up over it. And when I came over with the ladder, I went this way, over this, up over, I hit this, and over the trash can.
That'll probably be caught on camera either way. Like the noise. Like.
So the light bulb's still there.
Yeah. That thing
We
was
would have
like
knocked
that.
it out. Yeah, it was knocked
Yeah, it was like that.
I remember them talking
never
about
seen
it. This
that.
is supposed to be covering.
Yeah, it
because
was-
You'll trip. People will trip
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I never.
And I seen
I don't
that thing
recall never
before.
seeing it
Before.
go
Yeah.
boom.
And Mary was sitting there, so.
Yeah, I sat on it for a while, but I got back up and it started caving in on me.
Mm-hmm.
6. We can split up 3 and 3. Who wants to go upstairs? Who wants to go downstairs? Anybody have a
I'll stay
preference?
down here.
Okay.
I don't care.
Sorry.
Downstairs, upstairs. Who else?
I don't care. I don't care where
I'll
I
stay
go.
downstairs right now. Just I've been doing well. We've been thinking the same, so.
Okay.
Before we get started, when you start using the obelisk, can you just cross these copper bars and let me know you're here?
How?
All you have to do is just use your energy and push them over each other. There you go, we got it. Awesome. You're doing great.
Over here. Says help. Says pass anomalies.
Doesn't work for me.
It's exactly like how you explained it, like 2 magnets. It's really awesome.
If that was you, I got chills.
Do you see it just rocking back and forth?
Was that you? Can you do that again? Spot. Last.
I got the chills.
I did too.
If there is something that you would like to say to your son, can you light up the K2 meter, please? Go back to the strong connection with me again. Bring that back up.
Is there a strong connection with Jeff? Because he's feeling a lot. Does he remind you of the son? Or a son you wanted?
You saw this earlier. I'm shaky again.
I'm going to this house. That's okay.
Okay. I'm gonna sit on the wood. That anyone?
Wasn't me, wasn't you, possible upstairs.
It was a big creak. We all heard it. Can you do that again right now?
Can you make that noise?
2 minutes ago, I got a really nice headache.
I'm hot. Very, very, very warm.
Where you had it?
Just all over, just
Here, I'll move it over and see. Anything with the K2. Are you around, Jeff, right now? Please light up these lights.
Sir, if that is you, is there anything that you want to say?
Were you lonely? Did you know you were passing down here and nobody heard you?
You and I are too well connected.
Well, that gave me a little bit of the chills.
No, sir. I think the energy needs to be brought down. So, because of all the excitement, you know, it's like. I got a hint of a female. Is it the mother? Are you in here? No.
Damn, I think it's behind me.
Yeah.
I felt something behind
Indian.
me.
That's interesting.
Felt something behind me, like in my neck.
Yeah.
Are you behind Rafi right now?
Spiritually, I picked up briefly on like female presence, not so much in the room, in the hallway, passing by.
I just want to tell you my name. My name is Rafi, and I want to ask you if you were causing like the little headache I had before when I was in the basement and pain.
Cross the bars, but no, just keep them separated.
And try to make that device blink as well for yes.
Are you the one who's opened the door when the house is empty?
Basically like a one team in the house at a time thing, because I'm thinking, and this is with the, if it is the energy I'm still detecting, the OCD thing. He doesn't, you know, I said this outside, it's like somebody does not like unorganization. And with both of us talking, our voices overlapping, and because you can hear Mary from a mile away, and I mean, she's a loud talker.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that odd? And then warm.
You heard it?
I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that too. So.
That sounded like that was up here. I don't know.
Yeah, that didn't seem like it really came from downstairs or from them.
I heard some kind of unexplained noises and stuff that seemed to come out from the hallway. I was just gonna ask, was that you? Could you do that again? Are you making noises?
Yeah.
And I don't think we can catch her here, right?
You know what?
So she got this wall.
Yeah.
How's it going?
You good?
Any activity?
A lot of emotions for Jeff.
I'm over here right where he passed at.
Yeah.
And she brought up just a few minutes ago if he was alone here when it happened. And all I wanted to do was just cry. Let's go, we'll go outside and you guys can have the house. I need to.
I'm gonna get out of here for a while.
Alright, then there were 3. Okay, so now we're in here by ourselves. We got rid of the other 3, which you may be happy or not, I don't know. But it's going to be much quieter here and easier maybe for you to communicate, less distraction. And I said that because I thought I felt a vibration in the floor. And it wasn't like you walking because it was lighter. Noise. And it wasn't like you walking because it was lighter. Noise.
Yeah, I'm in the morning.
No, I had heard it from behind me.
What, like steps?
Listen. That noise that we heard, was that you? From the back bedroom area? If it was, could you do it again? I do the you guys around here, and I feel like I'd be comfortable doing it. Get this straight. Is that you out of the corner of my eye? Ooh.
A spike?
Yep, it went off. Is that true? So you're over there by the ladder, or in that general direction? Was that a validation? Yes?
Another spike?
Yeah. We appreciate that then, because this is the kind of what we were wanting when we're going around. The couple who has over here. That's kind of what they think. Or how about this? If you are the one moving that door, go up there and do it now. All of a sudden we hear. Are you going? Are you going upstairs to do that right now? Did it? Oh!
Crazy. No way.
It It's open?
Yep.
Was that you? Did you do that?
And it was locked.
It was locked. I remember Jeff locking it.
Because, no, right now it was locked.
Oh, right now it was
So it opened and it was locked?
Yeah, I just did like this and went like that.
The door was amazing. I mean, it was locked when we pulled on it. When we closed it all the way, make sure no air was going to push. It was solid.
I feel Leave It to Beaver type feeling here, and I know that 50s is not in the 70s, but
I was in the 70s.
Yeah.
They still had it. I'm sorry, you grew up in it too, but they still had a mentality of the wives stayed home.
Yeah.
It was about the 80s when the wives started going, having to work.
Why him and his sister aren't talking, why they end on bad terms.
It's very sad because these guys worked really hard to have the family they wanted.
So, but then he had the urge, let's go downstairs. So we went downstairs. It was more active, but it wasn't so much on the side where you guys were, you know, where the passing took place. It was in the room with the ladder.
I had it both.
Yeah, well, we were in both rooms.
And so what happened when we were in there, the room with the ladder, we'd asked, because remember that garbage can was knocked over, we'd asked, did you do that? And that's when we first got a K2 hit. And then we started talking about, okay, if you're here with us, are you the one that does the door thing and move the door or open the door? And we got a yes. And then so we worked on that and we said, okay, if you are, could you go up there and do it right now, please? It blinked again. And they kind of went quiet for a little while, which would make sense if it left, it might not make it blink anymore. Came up here.
Let me guess.
Rafi opened the door because it was easily because it was latched and locked.
Have fun.
I would say break a leg, but I don't think that's appropriate.
No, that's
Yeah,
not.
I probably will, so.
See the thing on the floor with the blue light on the screen? You can go ahead and talk to us through that when we're asking you questions. That way we can possibly hear what you have to say. Something needs to be said, but what it is, I don't know.
Are you familiar with the K2s? Like if you come near it, or if you want to answer a question, you just, like say, come near it and it will light up like that.
Then we went upstairs and we had it shut. It was latched and locked, and he was able to just pull on it. You, Rafi, tell him.
I just grabbed the knob, pull it back, and the door opened.
And it was still locked, right?
Yeah, it was still locked.
That's how it always
still
is.
got the lock on.
That's how it always is.
Yeah. Are you alright? Are you alright?
Yeah.
Okay. You told him about the trash can thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't know.
The owners are back. Is that why I got the chills? Is that why I had the chills? You knew they were back.
Nothing.
Not open.
No. Would you like your son to come in?
Would you like to talk to your son?
Do you want me to go get your son and bring him in here?
Can you be still for a moment? Get back to grounding, please.
Hi, Eric.
Downstairs?
We're downstairs.
All right, we're taking a break right now. The owners are back.
We know. Thank you.
As for me, not really anything. I just had the dowsing rods, which I wanted to get my hands on for a while, and those were going crazy on me. But like I said, like Tori was saying, the K2 meter was not.
We don't know what it is, but it's here.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You did?
And when we went to the door, Rafi pulled on it and it was still locked, but it opened up. So that was probably the most impactful, but I don't feel anything negative.
If we were to have him then involved in trying to reach out and get that message, for a vote of hands, upstairs or downstairs, feel more appropriate to do it downstairs? That's what I thought too.
I still think there's a lot to be said, but I don't know if it'll all come out.
Okay, Howard, are you here?
It's only a half answer. Go back. Go back. Is it Howard? Is Howard here? Yes. Howard, do you want to speak to Steve? Do you need to talk to Steve? Thank you. He wants to talk to you, dear. Okay, back. Can you make the ladder disappear again? Or the step stool?
I'm sitting on the step stool.
Yeah, look, I got half yes, half no, so.
Leave it up, get on the step stool. Okay, if you want to move it, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Howard, is Florence with you? No. Okay, thank you. Do you want to go to where Florence is? Do you want to go be with Florence? Oh, thank you. That's a yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I was gonna say, he wanted to leave the house and my mom wanted to stay when they got older because of the stairs. That's why he wanted to leave.
Especially now that your son is here and he's listening. We all are.
I mean, Dad, are you still here, or are you in the house?
What was your mom's name?
Florence.
No, she died after your father.
But she kept wanting to come back here. I mean, I don't know. I just figured that was, her thing.
If anything I say makes sense, you can go ahead and add on to it. That kind of thing.
I just want to start by saying right now I feel like it's very empty.
Look at that. A bowl, possibly a vase. And I'm getting chills behind me. I keep getting pulled backwards over here, like I'm gonna fall over, like Leaning Tower of Pisa. Why?
You didn't spend much time there. That's where the washer and dryer are.
March, I think it could be either March is in the month of March.
Strong pushing away on the rods.
Your birthday was in March.
Did she cross over? Is she where she needs to be and you're not?
You know it's okay, you can leave the house, go be with Mom. Yeah, because he always wanted chills now.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. He wanted me and my sister to get along for my mom. That was it. He always said, for your mother. Do you want us to help you get to Mom?
Yes.
Do you want help leaving this home and being with Florence?
My dear, it feels strange in here.
Well, yeah.
Walked in here and it's like, wow.
He was just kind of like me, like wanting everybody to be happy and everybody to just get along. And
his happiness was you two getting along, but he understands. Are you happy as an individual?
I'm happy.
Free.
Yes, you're free to go.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I do.
Did you guys?
Yep.
Was that you? So I think we could try, offering a crossover and maybe leave it at that and try, if things still happen or they escalate for the after we leave.
I about froze. Feel the back of my arms. Feel the back of my arms.
Oh, wow.
I'm just sitting right there and I'm like,
Oh, and it's just like one
It's getting
spot.
cold in here now, and
Yeah.
that's just says anomalies.
Wow. And I
I just heard something cross.
Yeah, this just had anomalies.
I mean, I was just sitting there and I got so freaking cold. It's like, oh my gosh, my arms. I've never had that happen before.
I'd gotten a little bit of a headache again. K2.
Yeah.
Is that your validation that you're ready to go? Because it's, every time we're talking about that, something that's escalating. If you're wanting to go and be with Florence and you're tired of being stuck here at this house, we can try to offer you a way to go and cross over to join her possibly.
Alright, yeah.
We can try here, you know, but the willpower's got to be there, and I've done this before, and sometimes spirits get nervous.
It's not been
Clear a path here.
Yeah.
All right, Howard. If anyone sees anything, experiences anything, feels any weirdness or anything, you know, speak up.
Heaven. We were able to do an offering.
And it can't say heaven. That thing has said heaven before. Alright, this area, I just see just a bright white light in this area. Howard, if you can see it, let us know. Saint Michael the Archangel, make your presence known. We have a spirit here amongst us who does not wish to be in this plane anymore and wants to be crossed over to the next stage, be transitioned. Take him to see his beloved wife. Howard, if you just look into that light, I can see her poking through. I think that's all the motivation you would need.
Yes. Yes.
Can you go towards her, Howard? Lift up, go towards her.
Yes.
She is present. She's in tears, just of joy, happiness. You guys can be reunited again.
I've got this it's shaky over here.
No.
And it shakes too. Is it because you're nervous?
Reach is what it said.
So all he has to do is just reach up in there and you take him in. Florence, can you see him?
On that one side, Mary.
What happened?
I was holding the ambulance in my hand, and there was trying to cross over. I mean, my hands just started trembling. I mean, it was like it was going to fly out of my hand if I didn't drop it. It just all of a sudden just started vibrating so hard in my hand. I've never had it that violent.
St. Michael the Archangel's looking upon us right now. And Florence, I know, is just really, really wanting to see you again. Join her, please. I'm seeing just the brightest blue sky, like through my vision when I'm taking out. During this spiritual session, we refer to it as more of an offering because we strongly believe that you're going in there in your tent and you're guaranteed to expel or forcefully remove a spirit. And you have another thing coming because it's not quite like that. So anywhere that we go, provide an offering. And so basically just try to open up white light and surround that area with positive energy, and in hopes that any possible spirit that needs crossed over or wants crossed over or may want to go to a better place but is scared to, we provide them that chance. And so we did that here tonight. It's hard to explain. and I had to sketch out what I saw, and the drawing illustration does not do its justice at all. And it was a tunnel. I recognized it. It was made of white clouds. They seemed to be maybe moving very slowly. And at the end of that tunnel, there was just bright sky blue, the bluest sky, probably even bluer than any sky on Earth. I'd seen an individual, a figure, lean over and peer down from the other end of the tunnel. I think I was, for that moment in time, witnessing it through the eyes of this client's father. I never met her in my life, but to me, she seemed to be the spouse. Very emotional, kind of a joyful, emotional. Pretty amazing. I wish everyone on my team could experience this.
And my headache's slowly starting to ease.
Like that abrasive warmth around my arms.
I feel relaxed over here.
Still have high anxiety.
Yeah, I wasn't down here for the whole crossover, but when I did come down, I still was feeling the headache and stuff, but once that was done and over with, it's the easiest I have felt all night being here.
I just saw the last part of the crossover, so. And I don't know, just been feeling weird all night, so.
I'm spent. It's been a long night.
St. Michael the Archangel, make sure tunnel is closed. We do appreciate it. And protect those of us leaving this place tonight. Protect the families of the loved ones of whom they have crossed over. And let there be peace amongst this property, amongst this house, and amongst this family. Amen.
Just needed to.
Crossings drain you. I mean, they just take... I'm glad I don't do it daily.
Hopefully we were able to help the clients get this resolved.
Everybody seemed to feel pretty light afterwards. I am more overwhelmed.
Well, I'm so excited because I want to know what we found, especially when the house was empty for like 20 minutes.
It was a really interesting case. I was very emotional. Had a lot of emotions during the case. During the crossover, I was down here, but I wasn't here when there was a lot of communication going on. I was outside.
A few keywords that came through, like happiness and the obelisk. So there's some hints there that something did take place to where maybe this individual did go.
And at first I wasn't sure what I felt about whether the crossover was successful or not, but when I went upstairs and checked everything and put things away, it was a lot calmer feeling.
But I thank you guys, I do, I really do thank you for coming down.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't too boring, but it did work
No,
out.
and it's not even about that. I mean, if we find answers, even if there's not any activity, we know after the fact, a big chunk of it, the iceberg picture, imagine that. Some of it's on the surface, a big chunk of it's underneath. So we'll be reviewing later and find out what's hidden still.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Like, really? So if this happened this much to us, how much did it happen to her living here?
Mm-hmm.
It might have happened more to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, did she shut it and then turn around and then be open again? Because it's like, hey, I'm here. Maybe he was trying to, get her attention. I'm here.
Yeah.
And when she was in hospice passing away, she was adamant about coming here and dying here. She begged us to bring her here, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, no, Mom, you can't come home. And now we're like, now we know why. Maybe it was because she knew Howard was here.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I got to be a part of it, and I'm very interested in going further with this.
Thanks,
It was
bye.
nice meeting you. Sorry I was so weird.
No, that's okay. I was kind of worried about it, so thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks again.
why did you want to meet somewhere other than that house?
We don't want to be suggestive and talk about the activity that had happened in that place. All right, well, thanks for having us back. I know it's been, we tried to keep it within that time frame. We told you of the flooding that had happened as well during the time we had water in our basement, so we kind of delayed review for a little while. But we got it done.
But the door, we left the door in for what, a month afterwards? Yeah, and nothing ever happened there.
It never opened again after that, so it was like, and then we had it nailed shut. I mean, you guys even had it open 3 times, so you know, it's like, alrighty.
Well, that's good. That was part of our goal, was to try to settle things that might still been going on there. I strongly feel, and their sensitives have picked up, it was your father who was around. Usually in a lot of places we'll find, kind of a hierarchy, like a main spirit energy and then kind of minions, so to speak, underneath that. It's mainly just him. His female presence briefly, and we'll kind of get onto that in a little bit and tell you what I think that was. Then we have 15 minutes, 47 seconds into it, just strange noises. And just say if these are some of what you were hearing after we left. It wasn't like together, it was over about a 30-second span.
Yeah, it was kind of a loud noise, but like clank.
Like the first noise.
Yeah. And at some point, that trash can that he had upside down over that little pipe thing that's sticking up, we found it knocked over. Now, could this have been a noise of that reverberating through the house? Maybe. But because we didn't hear it at the time, we think it happened when we all left the house. And let's kind of let it settle, because we found it knocked over somehow. Of course, we have a camera in that room. Generally, a lot of them moving in the same direction. And as we move around, we stir it up, of course.
And it was dusty.
A lot more now.
There was plenty of dust.
Oh yeah. Just and what's interesting is when it starts to pick up speed later on, it has what I call a comet's tail. See, and it just starts to be a little comet tail.
It's definitely more when it goes from one direction up into another. Like the dust was all just going, but you could tell.
And I'll tell you, and I didn't have time to sketch it out. I'm trying to figure out how to draw this. But when I was doing the thing I was doing, I seen it was like this tunnel, but it was like white clouds all the way around it. And it was bright sky blue at the top of it. And it was just kind of just like amazing view. And then there's an individual, one person, woman, I believe to be her, stood up over the tunnel looking down. She was emotional, but she was reaching out. And I think that's what finally got him to release and go. And this is evidence of that, please, right here. I mean, our talk, you needed to be there. Strongly don't think we would have had the outcome we did if you weren't. So,
and that's what I've been telling him for 2 years.
I was pretty skeptical about the whole deal, all the way through. I mean, even at the end of the night, I thought it was kind of...
He kept saying hokey.
Yeah.
But then when nothing's happened since, I mean...
He goes, I think it's pretty hokey, and then, but nothing's happened since, and he's like, all right, I gotta give him that.
We appreciate skeptics. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I think it's cool, Steve, because I do really feel exactly what you said. I felt as he was saying that and as I was hearing things, that I do think that was your mom. I really do.
I do too. Thanks again for having us back, and
appreciate all you did.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for letting us over.
And that's yours, so.
All right. So check it out some more.